The merge is here, lads. Open the game to re-download it. There will be a new agreements to accept. It will tell you to pick an army, and then you'll just be into this. It has everything from the previous test servers, such as converged armies up here at the top, and everything else you remember from my previous videos on basically every step to do with this update. Couple of key things to note. We're only going to go through some key things in this video. I'll do more in-depth ones later. But your gold refunds. Now, those of you who bought squad slots might remember you were going to get refunded your gold. It was a bit slow to update for me, but eventually it gave me my correct amount that I should have. If it doesn't happen for you, then just wait a little bit or reopen the game. Some kind of thing over time might just work for you and you'll get your exact amount, so don't worry about that. And the whole thing about you only being able to have two of the same squad types, like just riflemen here, that they announced a while ago has just now no longer a thing. So as you can see here, I've got 3 rifleman classes just from the get-go. Basically, the justification for this was like they want to gather more data on whether this is actually needed. I reckon it will be, probably over time, because people will just spam flamethrowers and everything toxic with the game, but if it was just riflemen, I think no one would really care. So yeah, that's an interesting thing. You can now just have basically 7 rifleman squad if you're a veteran player and had enough rifleman squads. It's kind of funny. Remember, the important thing to check is your battle rating, which you can actually find for your specific armies by hovering over the actual icons of them right at the very top. As you can see, my Soviets are battle rating 4 right now. It might seem weird because all my guys have got Mosin carbines, but if I actually looked into something over here, probably find out that that's probably the KV1, actually. That's probably what's doing it. That's making me battle rating 4. In fact, if I hover over it, you can actually see it says battle rating 4. And that's why, for example, this squad, and this guy, who is, I mean, let's face it, he's definitely battle rating 1. Look at this Mosin carbine. This is why I'm now in battle rating 4 matches, so make sure your squads are properly organized before you go into battle, and check this, just so you know, like, what you're actually getting into. Let's quickly go through all the different tabs at the top, make sure you know how they work and all the different changes there that are actually important to know, because many things are very subtle and they're just nice. So if we look at the upgrades tab right now, you can actually see that it's actually easier to upgrade weapons and vehicles, which is very, very good. Now, you probably don't understand what I mean by this. What they've actually done is they've removed a lot of the upgrades of weapons and vehicles that happen multiple times across multiple different squads in different campaigns. Let me demonstrate. If you go to the filters tab, which is, by the way, a really nice and helpful feature now for this little thing, go to the filters, let's do just rifle squads, for example. You can actually see that this one squad only has the Mosin Dragoon and Mosin Rifle squad upgrades for those specific weapons. And if I go to the other rifleman squads, there's different ones. There's different ones. There's different ones. There's different ones. There's different ones again, and there's different ones. So as you can see, all of the different rifleman squads, and these are only rifleman squads, remember, all have very, very different weapons to upgrade, which is actually really nice and actually does mean that things are a lot easier. And if you don't have one squad leveled up max, but you have another one squad leveled up max, and they both have the same weapon attached to it, that it got really confusing. No, that's gone. It's really easy now to know. If you're a new player who's just starting the game, then you probably won't have any issues with this because the squads you get in the research tree will literally have all the correct weapons for you. But yeah, just a nice little feature that I bet most of you would never have noticed, but it's just really good and just helps for organization and understanding how the whole system works. Though, that being said, the personnel upgrades are literally all the same, as you can see. There's probably a few down here that are literally the exact same. Like this squad and this squad literally are the exact same upgrades and upgrade the exact same squad rifleman class type. So I mean, yeah, these aren't exactly perfect, but I guess these will be mended over time. This just adds to the confusion that, like, if you have one of these upgraded and not the other one, then you'd basically be able to use that squad type class, but you couldn't use it for the same squad. It gets a bit weird. That's why they should kind of just do what they did with the green tree. If you go to the shop tab, it's genuinely still the same. If you're playing as the Soviets, though, you can see the new Paratrooper squad, which is the AS-44 Model 5. Really cool squad, by the way. Very, very important to probably get. I'm almost definitely going to have to buy this thing. AS-44 Model 5 is very good, but the idea is just that the fact that they're paratroopers, that's the main thing that makes them really overpowered. So I'd recommend getting these as, like, one of the next best squads you can get in the entire game. One of the key things to note now is that all the Battle Pass stuff is together. For example, if you go to the weapons, you can actually see every single weapon that you haven't got 4 of, which is down here. If I click on this, you can see I've actually got limited offer, purchase 1 of 4. This is because every single gold weapon you can buy 4 of now, and I've already got 1 of these. I've got 1 PPD Bramit and 1 Nagant's Pistol Silence, which is a terrible purchase, may I add. But the point is you can now buy 4 of them if I go to, I don't know, what do I have multiple of? I've got 1 PP Spital, it will tell me I've only got, purchase 1 of 4 here, so I can get 4, just period. So it's a nice little helpful way for you just to see everything. Same with the soldiers, although I've bought most of these here. Same with the vehicles, they're all here as well. So that's a helpful way of looking at things and just making it just much more easy to see. There's also the new silver tab, which is basically an area where you can buy silver for gold. This didn't actually exist in the previous era of the game where you can directly just buy orders for gold. Now you can buy silver for gold. I mean, if you want to, it's there. yeah, go for it. If you want more Enlisted Silver, it's there. I guess it's actually quite a nice feature because, you know, battle rating now exists, so it's literally can't be pay to win because you literally get into games yourself with other players of equal gear, so it doesn't actually matter. It's just here if you want to. There's also the weaponry and soldiers tab. You can have a look at all the prices here. As you can see, as you go down the tree, things get more expensive. For example, 11,500 for Assaulter 4, but then only 3,000 for probably an Assaulter 1 or a Medic 1, which is the equivalents now. Same with weaponry over here. Let's have a look at assault weapons. 500 for a PPD 34-38 box magazine, but then 3,000 for AS-44 Model 5. Makes sense, I guess, but also, these are really cheap, by the way. Weapons are really cheap. Soldiers cost a lot more, but that's because upgrading them is now no longer... It doesn't cost anything to upgrade soldiers anymore. That's literally why this exists right now. If you go to the research tab, you can see the whole tech tree. Now, this is what we've covered in previous videos. Basically, every tab we've covered in previous videos right now, but you can see exactly what you need to unlock something later on. For example, if I wanted to unlock the PPSH-41 box magazine, don't know why you would, but let's say you did for whatever reason, you have to go back, look at the lines connecting it, you need the PPS-43 before that, then you need the PPS-42 before that, and then TOS-B before that, and the PPT-34 before that. You basically have free reign to do what you want, as long as you have enough weapons to go to the next tier, which is given by that 9 thing. You need at least 9 weapons in this tier to go on to tier 2 stuff unlocking, so it's not like you can beeline straight down one tree and get curb stomped by people with really late war gear and everything, because you only got one tree decked out, which is actually a nice failsafe, really, if I'm thinking about it properly. So yeah, that's all here. You can also see the battle ratings as well, and all of them, if you click on them, this is battle rating 1, this is battle rating 1 again. Let's if I go to the PPD 40, it's probably battle rating 5. Indeed it is. So that's all here. Remember that research point, which is this icon down here. If you select to actually upgrade something, I've already got this, so this is not a great example. But let's say I didn't have anything. I guess Japan does have stuff that I don't have. Over here, you can see you need 165,000, not 16,000, research points for the Chiha short gun. And once I start hitting start research, every time I play Japan now, every research point I ever get will go straight into this. So basically, if this number never goes higher than 0, don't be alarmed. Check the thing that you're actually choosing to upgrade for that faction, and it will probably have a bar that's moving up behind the tank or the weapon or whatever it is. That shows you that you're progressing in that tech. Also remember folders and squads exist, so if this icon's here, it means this one comes with a squad as well. As you can see by the tab here, you can weapon and then squad. Comes with Rifleman 2 when you unlock M1 Carbine with Grenade Thrower. Obviously not for me because I've got everything, but if you're a new player doing this, this is what you'd get. Same thing with this icon, which means folders. So M1A1 Flamethrower, you can also get the M1 Flamethrower if you like to. I mean, this is a poor example because they're literally both the exact same thing, just look a bit different. But there are many other examples of this if you look through the tech tree. Basically, just remember that they're there because you don't need to use them if you don't want to, but it's there as options if you want them. One of the big things to note is that if you cared about stats and you click on your player profile right now, you can actually still see all your stats from previous campaigns. So you can see right here, my win rate in bloody Tunisia is 83.5% and 80.73%. This won't change anymore because of the whole new system's changed, but you can still see these legacy stats if you'd like to. Point being, I don't really know how long these will stay here for. Maybe they'll stay here forever for the old campaigns tab, but I don't really expect them to. I kind of expect them to be replaced by like faction-based stats systems, where you just put all the American factions into one, and all the Japanese and all the Soviets and all the Axis all into one. I feel like it's a bit weird that they're still here, but I'm not complaining. Some of the last key things to note is that it will take ages for you to manage your squads if you're a veteran. For example, if I go to my Axis, I have 156 squads in the reserve, plus the 6 that are already here. If you're a new player, this will be a lot easier, but honestly, I'm going to have to go through everything and unequip everybody of everything that they've ever had, and then so I can redeck out all my squads for different tiers and battle ratings. Basically, it's going to be a long process if you're a veteran player. If you're a new player, much easier. They really should just have like a whole unequip everything button from every single squad, from every single soldier in those squads. It would just make life a lot easier. No, they didn't do it. I think I asked for this many times. I guess they didn't want to do it. If you wanted to buy squads, by the way, it looks like they all cost about the same. You can still buy 4 here. I mean, I've got 6 because I've got premium accounts. So I've got 4 from being free-to-play player, 2 from being a premium account. I could buy 1 for 490 egg, and I could buy 3 more as well, which all go up in increments, like higher prices for each one you buy. So actually, my gold that I've got now is very good considering I can just rebuy all the squads. It's a really nice feature. Also, if you did steps from my previous video on things you should do before the merge, then I probably advised you to buy like so many different soldiers of everything. As you can see, I've got like literally so many. I have 387 German soldiers in the reserve, and that doesn't even include all the soldiers that are in my 156 squads. As you can see though, I bought like so many different Assaulter 4s, like literally so many. Now is the time you can sell them all. So yeah, you can probably sell him sent to the rear, and I get 10,000 silver for it, which is much, much better than you ever could before, given the current currency conversion. So yes, do this now. However, I still would keep lots of soldiers and lots of weapons. I think I did buy a bunch of weapons. Oh my god, yeah, this is this is truly a mess. Yeah, point being, I would keep basically a lot of your weapons. I mean, obviously get rid of ones you'll never ever use if you don't ever want to use those, but I would keep a lot of them just in case you ever do want to have some fun and play with those, because now you can, and the matchmaking system won't penalize you for playing with stuff that's really, really bad. And also just in case they ever update the battle ratings, which is what I completely expect to happen in the future. I fully expect them to update battle ratings for all kinds of weapons right here. Obviously not this one's probably not a good example, but maybe they'll change around the, I don't know, the OVP, for example. Maybe they'll put it in tier 3 rather than tier 2, and all of a sudden it will become less useful or whatever. So I'd recommend keeping a bunch anyway if you can afford to keep them. If you can't, then no worries. And then, of course, lastly, there's a Soviet USSR Paratroopers event. As you can see right here, if you scroll down on the news article, you can actually get 2 gold weapon orders, which is actually insane, and the USSR Paratroopers, and lots of appearance change orders, which is actually really good. Like, this is a really good event, like, in terms of the rewards. 20,000 every 2 days, you actually only get a reward every 2 days, which is, you know, not always ideal, but you do have, like, the silver things down here, which, I mean, 500 silver is literally nothing, so I'm surprised they're giving that as, like, a reward. 2,000 still not that much. I'm kind of surprised they're not giving that much here, but it's an event, and it's fun, and you get a really good squad for free here, by the way, so everything here is for free, so I'd recommend doing that as much as you can for the next month. It ends on 30th of December, so it's the whole month of December. It's your Christmas event. And of course, there's loads of bugs with different things. I've seen issues with, like, Soviet soldiers. When you play as the Soviets, you get German allies, there's bots, teammates, there's a bunch of weird stuff going on right now, but the bugs will all be ironed out at some point in the future. But yeah, what do you think about this whole merge system? What videos do you want to see about it? What tutorials, what advice? Let me know down in the comments. I'm happy to do everything you guys want to see, and what advice you guys need for basically anything for your soldiers. Make sure you join our Discord, our 3,000 strong enlisted player Discord, for help and to participate in discussions and polls and everything else. Also, join us over on Twitch. We'll be doing loads of games with everybody with this new merge system. It will be a barrel of laughs and a barrel of fun. I'd recommend it. It's fun. I swear. It's really good. But yeah, last but not least, enjoy the merge, fellas.